I was born in Washington State, and my dad got hired to go draw caricatures and portraits down at Disneyland in Southern California. So that's what brought us down south. I was in kindergarten at the time, and my dad did caricatures all throughout the 60s. It was the 1 minute quick sketch, big head, small body style, and he got a reputation as the fastest pen alive. He could do the sketches in 45, 50 seconds, almost always under a minute. And people passing by at Disneyland would look at it and go, wow, that looks pretty cool, let's get one. They don't take that long. Um, and he had it on a overhead projector behind him, and people could see this shadowy hand uh, projected behind him, and would show the cute little cartoon drawing of a kid riding a bike or a husband golfing. And eventually, throughout the 60s, he gained a lot of success, and he found his way to Hawaii. First went on a trip to just play golf and visit a friend who had done some uh, glass blowing in Disneyland. And to pay for his trip, he brought his overhead projector, set up in the evenings after they played a couple rounds of golf, and found that it was untapped potential where he could use his talents and have his own business rather than just work for Disneyland. It didn't take that long, and mainly because when you're at Disneyland, you're not stopping and buying things necessarily. You want to get to the next ride. But if you see that it only takes a minute, that was the appeal of it. It was quick. You don't look at it and say, oh, you got to sit down for 20 minutes and it's going to take forever. In 1969, my dad had an opportunity to visit Hawaii, and he took along with him the overhead projector, which is what he drew his caricatures on, and visited a friend and was able to set up his booth at the International Marketplace in Waikiki. And just for 1 week, just to kind of test the waters. And he found that it was an untapped potential. There was nobody else doing that style in Hawaii at all. And that's how he decided that this is the place to be. He could run his own business. So he went back to California, gave notice to Disneyland, and moved to Hawaii. And then that was 1969. And then over the next couple of years, my brothers and I, one by one, moved over there. And I moved to Hawaii in 1972 when I was starting high school at Kalani High School. Go Falcons! And that's how we ended up in Hawaii, and that's how we ended up at the International Marketplace. Now, Waikiki, back in the early 70s, there was a really happening place. This was kind of the golden age of the tourism in Waikiki. Jet travel had become affordable for the average person, so we were getting people from all over the United States, all over Canada. We had Japanese tourists all throughout South America, even Europe. People were coming to Waikiki. It was the happening place. You had the popularity of Hawaii Five-0. You had Don Ho was in his prime. You had the Polynesian Review was right next door, the big popular stage show. I think Zulu, the actor from Hawaii Five-0 was on that. So this was a happening place, and my dad tapped into that market and became very well known in the local community. I started training with him, doing caricatures. First started as his cashier and selling frames and organizing the line, and then little by little I was trying to copy what he did, and he trained me how to do it, and that was my gateway to learning caricatures myself. So as I gained confidence doing caricatures for the public at Waikiki, I found that my horizons were broadening. I had met people from around the world and really had a different goal for myself than just doing caricatures for the rest of my life. I really wanted to be an animator. And I moved to California, went to California Institute of the Arts, which had the Disney animation program there, and was able to get in on the strength of portfolio. And I believe my years of doing caricatures from age 14 all the way to age 20, I had a lot of mileage doing quick sketches, and that served me well in my training to become an animator eventually. In California, I worked at Knott's Berry Farm, Universal Studios, Magic Mountain, as I was going to school, put myself through that process, and eventually was hired at Hanna-Barbera first, and then eventually Sullivan Bluth, and then a few years later I was at Disney, where I worked on things like Lion King and Pocahontas and Mulan and many other films. And I ended up working for over 40 years in animation, and I really can point to my years in my youth learning under my dad's tutelage. He nurtured my talent to prepare me to see things quickly and put them down with a kind of cartoony interpretation that really served me well later in my career. My dad passed away just a few years ago, and I really am proud of his legacy that he gifted me through the talents that I inherited, but also the experiences and the opportunities he gave me to help my talents grow. And to carry on that legacy means a lot to me and my family. You know, he was known as Huff, and Huff, the fastest pen alive. And I was proud to call myself the son of Huff as I went forth in my career. And all these years of doing animation, I can point back to that influence, having started under my dad's tutelage at the International Marketplace in Waikiki. So coming up, June 1st, a Sunday, in Torrance, is the California 808 Music Festival. And I'll be there, not only listening to the music, but I will be doing caricatures in the Huff style, bringing back the International Marketplace days and those golden era 70s Waikiki days. So look forward to seeing you there, and I'll draw your picture just like the kind. See you there.